In our previous lesson, we looked at personality, we discussed self-identity, and then the types of self. In this lesson, we'll look at false identity. By the end of this lesson, students should be able to explain the concept of false identity and then be able to list 3 effects of false identity. When we talk about false identity, what it basically means is that it is a concept where an individual pretends to be who they are not, or pretends to be owners of things that they do not own. In an era of social media where people borrow things they do not have, people go for loans just to buy things to impress people they do not even know. This concept is here to show students and everyone to accept who they are and accept themselves. When you're able to accept who you are, in our previous lesson when we talked about self-identity, we talked about the fact that an individual understands and knows him or herself. When you have this knowledge, there is no need to fake your identity. And so false identity is a concept that people perceive themselves to be who they are not. We look at the effects of false identity. The first one is that it brings shame and disgrace to the individual. As a student, if you have told all your friends that you live in an apartment in East Legon, then you are sick. Your friends want to visit your home and see how you are faring. Upon tracing, they realize that you live in a slum area that there is nothing good to write home about. Because you were not true to yourself and because you were not true to your friends, the moment you see them, you feel disgraced and you are ashamed. So false identity has an effect of bringing disgrace and shame to the individual. Next is that in the times of need, help is denied. Now, absence of help when an individual needs it is very painful. You take an example where a student has portrayed himself to be the son of a very wealthy businessman, and then this individual comes to school and they are struggling to get money to buy food. Here, it will be very criminal for the individual to seek help from friends because the type of image they have created about themselves does not permit them to ask for help. The next one is loss of respect. When an individual is not true to himself and his or her friends, the individual loses respect. Now, in our society, we value respect a lot. And so when you are able to lie to your friends, you're able to lie to your family and people in the society about who you are, immediately they find out, all the respect they have for you will be lost. Again, an individual will experience difficulty in life because when the truth is found out, nobody wants to associate with the individual whatsoever because they have faked their identity. And then finally, it affects the development of the individual. When an individual perceives him or herself to be something else that they are not, it prevents them from striving hard to move to the next level and actually become who they are perceiving or lying to themselves that they are. This brings us to the end of this lesson. In this lesson, we have talked about false identity and we have discussed the effects that false identity has on an individual. In our next lesson, we'll look at the importance of knowing one's self. See you.